by... Entresto is the #1 heart failure brand prescribed by cardiologists. It was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. And don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto for heart failure. Novartis may help you save on your prescription.
We're going to leave you now with the Oscars for dogs.
When are you going to get a dog?
Don't remind me. I want one so bad.
Our Rachel Smith is in her happy place. Hey, Rachel.
Aww.
Oh, Kevin and Michelle, you know I am in heaven right now, hanging out here at the 148th Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show, where tonight on FS1, Best in Show will be crowned. So let's see what it takes to get these pooches like Ilka here camera ready. What are the judges looking for?
You're dealing with dogs that are near perfection. It really starts to come down to...
Happening now.
San Antonio police say they found 5 children here filthy and left to fend for themselves. They've arrested the person who they say was supposed to be caring for them. We knocked and talked to the mother of some of those kids. We'll tell you what she has to say.
We're soon looking at another shot at a round of thunderstorms. We'll take a look at the latest timing and the potential for severe storms in just a bit.
And with the rain we just had and the heat on the way, it's time to get ready for tick season. We're going to tell you the best ways to keep ticks out of your backyard. The News at 5 starts right now. First at 5, a man who was supposed to be babysitting now under the watchful eyes of detention officers at the Bexar County Jail. San Antonio police say that he neglected 5 children in his care, allowing them to go hungry and even hurt themselves.
Katrina Weber tracked down the mother of the children, who says the suspect is where he belongs, behind bars.
A discarded bag of garbage hints at what one neighbor says was a flood of filth raining down Sunday afternoon from the balcony above his.
I see like mops being thrown down. I see a huge trash bag with dirty trash. I see dirty diapers.
It all opened the door to a dirty secret in the apartment upstairs. Amanthius Pendleton says he found 5 children there unsupervised, throwing items from the balcony and playing with knives.
They were skinny, their hair just was all over the place.
Pendleton says he called 911 after one child told him she hadn't eaten in days, that all their food was kept under lock and key. In a report, police also described the children as being filthy.
And they had eaten? Yes, they had eaten breaking eggs tacos. And they had been, yes, they were clean that day.
The mother of some of the children, who range in age from 2 to 9, tells a different story. Hannah Williams says she had been gone only a few hours, celebrating Mother's Day while leaving her kids with their uncle, 52-year-old Shad Modisette. Officers say they found him asleep and unaware inside the apartment near Eisenhower Road and Raybon Drive and arrested him for child endangerment.
I blame myself because I put a lot of trust into him.
She says a couple of her children cut themselves while playing with the knives. According to police, the whole group was turned over to Child Protective Services for their own safety. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
And check this out. Developing right now, San Antonio police blocking off a street after a plane ran off of a private runway on the north side. This happened in a little neighborhood around 3 o'clock this afternoon. Police say the plane landed on that private runway located behind some homes in the 600 block of Heimer Road near 281 in Brook Hollow. They say the plane, though, did not stop, and it went off the runway. We're told 2 men were aboard the plane, no one injured. Police say this is not the first time a plane has gone off that runway, and it happens every few years or so. Officials with the National Transportation Safety Board on the scene investigating the incident.
New at 5, San Antonio police say Destiny Cardona was real vocal when she threatened a witness of a deadly dog attack, but didn't say a word about a child in her care being severely abused until officers started asking questions. Cardona is now charged with injury to a child causing serious bodily injury by omission. According to SAPD, last week, hospital staff called police after the child was brought in. Examinations revealed multiple injuries, recent and old. We're told the child suffered a broken arm, bruises all over his body, and possible second-degree burns on his forearms, back, and legs. Police say Cardona pointed the finger at her boyfriend, Michael Aguilar, saying he had been taking the child into the bathroom, and she admits hearing him beating the boy. Aguilar reportedly told police the boy hurt himself after falling off the monkey bars at a playground. Aguilar, a convicted felon, is charged with 2 counts of injury to a child. The boy is now in the custody of Child Protective Services and is in the hospital recovering. Cardona is the sister of Abilene Schneider, one of the owners of the dogs police say killed 81-year-old Ramon Nahara in February 2023 on Depla Street. According to an arrest affidavit, Cardona was at her sister's home when she threatened to kill a witness of that deadly dog attack and their family member. Police say Cardona was out on bond for that case when she was arrested in connection to the abused boy.
San Antonio firefighters showing up at a car fire just after midnight only to discover a dead body inside. It happened during a car crash on the north side near 281. According to SAPD, the driver of a Jeep lost control of the vehicle on San Pedro at the turnaround. It veered off the road, rolling over and hitting an embankment and catching fire. Once firefighters put out the flames, they found the victim inside. Right now, police say it's unknown if that person was the driver. The deadly crash still being investigated.
Now to the latest in the federal investigation into Representative Henry Cuellar and his wife's bribery case. A third person with ties to the congressman has pleaded guilty. Irada Akundova pleaded guilty to unlawfully acting as an agent of the Azerbaijani government and a state-run oil company. According to her LinkedIn profile, she served as the president of a nonprofit that builds ties between the city of Houston and Azerbaijan's capital city. She admits to facilitating a $60,000 payment to Imelda Cuellar, the congressman's wife. This guilty plea comes after the South Texas Democrat was accused of accepting nearly $600,000 in bribes from Azerbaijan and a Mexican bank. He and his wife were indicted last month. Akundova was also indicted last month.
The clock is ticking. The deadline to file a notice with the county that you will be appealing your 2024 property appraisal is tomorrow. You can mail it, drop it off in the box outside of the Bexar County Appraisal District on North Frio, or you can file an appeal online. Whatever way you do it, it has to be submitted by tomorrow. The appeals process is tricky, and we're offering some help for you. We've listed the steps on how to protest your property appraisal. All you have to do is scan this QR code you see on the screen right now. Head over to our website, KSAT.com. We have an article that lays out exactly what you need to do if you want to make that appeal.
And we're watching a developing story out of Florida where a man was booked just a couple of hours ago on 8 counts of intoxication manslaughter after a crash in the central part of that state killed 8 people and injured dozens more.
The victims, farm workers. ABC's Christiane Cordero with what state troopers believe may have happened just before this tragic crash.
The early morning bus crash happened about an hour north of Orlando. At least 8 people were killed, approximately 40 others taken to local hospitals, some critically injured. Florida Highway Patrol says around 6:30 a.m., a pickup truck traveling in the opposite direction veered over the center line and sideswiped the bus, sending it careening.
The school bus traveled off the roadway onto the grass shoulder where it went through a fence, struck a tree and overturned.
It's unclear whether morning rain was a factor. The road where it happened, State Road 40, is a popular stretch for commuters, particularly those going to work on local farms. That's where the Florida Highway Patrol says the bus was headed.
What I can tell you, that there was approximately 50 people on this bus. My understanding, they were farm workers and they were en route to a farm in the area.
There were so many injured, first responders used a school bus to get them all to the hospital. Police estimate a full investigation of the crash could take months.
The farm where the victims worked is closed today. They've asked the public to pray for their families and loved ones. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
All day long, we have had a KSAT community phone bank here. All of these ladies, though, want the phones to ring. What we're doing is we're answering any question you might have about becoming a foster family, or potentially even raising some money for the foster care system. We're here with the phone number 210-351-1363. If you've never thought you could do this, we can answer your questions and see if maybe you can. With me right now is the Vice President of Operations with SJRC Texas, which is the organization, the nonprofit that does all of the foster care here in Region 8, as they call it, in South Texas, correct?
Correct. Well, Region 8B, we cover 27 counties surrounding Bexar County, and we provide case management, foster care services, and placement services for our youth.
So what we're doing here is we're answering all of your questions you might have about foster care, but also about the needs that these kids have that we are trying to fill through donations as well as activities. And we're talking about trying to keep teenagers involved, engaged, and on the right track, correct?
Absolutely. You know, anytime that we can promote extracurricular activities for our youth, be able to get them into activities that are going to help them build their spirit, build their abilities, you know, be able to direct their energies in a positive way. You know, one of the things that our SJRC Texas Touchstone campus that we have, which is a residential foster care program that we have, one of the things that we do is equine therapy, which has been really, really good for our youth.
You're talking to the right person about that. I tell you, I can see how that would help a troubled youth who's had a rough time in the foster care system. But you're opening the door to all kinds of activities and things that will ensure that they have a future.
Absolutely. So be it education, be it summer camps, be it the ability to engage in different type of programming that they would like to participate in. These donations are critical because it helps us meet their needs. And their needs are critically important because just like we like normalcy in our life and be able to do the things that we enjoy, we want them to experience the same.
Absolutely. Again, the phone number to call, 210-351-1363. We're going to have these phones available to answer any of your questions or take any of your donations until 7 o'clock tonight.
Thank you, Ursula. Taking a look outside at TransGuide. We're at I-10 in Brazos, where we are down to one lane. Construction crews are there doing some work. So as you can see, down to one lane and slow moving through that side of town. And beware, the shutdown is in effect until the end of next month. Traffic Authority RJ Marquez breaks down a recent closure on another roadway in San Antonio.
Let's explain what exactly is going on there for folks that might not be aware exactly of the construction that we're going to see in this area. So basically the upper levels of I-10 West from Poplar Street to Fulton Street, that will be reduced to one lane. That means that there will be two main lanes closed in this area as crews continue some of that bridge joint work for that upper level of I-10. This is going to be affecting all of our traffic coming to the Culebra area, Fredericksburg Road, Woodlawn Lake area, Hildebrand. So if you use any of those exits from the upper level of I-10, keep this in mind as crews continue their work here in this area. So one other thing to keep in mind here is that this will be a 24-hour-a-day closure through the rest of this month and through June. So for the next several weeks, I-10 westbound, the upper levels here from Poplar Street to Fulton will be reduced down to one lane. Make sure to get the latest information on this reduction on KSAT.com.
Cranking up the heat a little bit today. We're back into the 90s, 94 the high temperature. That's a good 8 degrees above average, but 3 degrees shy of the record for today. Right now, out to the west, near 100 Del Rio, 94 Eagle Pass, but also 94 Santa Maria. Widespread low to mid 90s is what we're seeing from Windcrest and Seguin at 90 to Mico 96. And as we go through the evening, temperatures will cool off pretty quickly and efficiently. Clear sky, not much of a breeze, and not too humid out there. So we'll be down to 79 at 10 o'clock. By midnight, we're at 75 degrees. Here's our next system. It's currently near Los Angeles in Southern California. That's headed our way. We'll time it out and talk about its impacts in just a bit.
Thanks a lot, Adam. Straight ahead, planning summer backyard barbecues and parties. Mosquitoes aren't the only unwanted guests that you need to be on the lookout for. Ticks are also looking for a meal. How to stop them before they make your backyard their new home.
I'm Myra Arthur here in the newsroom, and here's what we're working on for the news at 6 o'clock today. One man is charged in 2 cases involving severe injury and death of a child. Terrence Harper is already serving 99 years, but both cases against him are stalled. We'll explain why. The number of adult women diagnosed with ADHD doubled from 2020 to 2022. Signs and symptoms show up differently compared to men. At 6, what women can do if they think they're living with ADHD. Plus, look out, the next phase of the I-35 expansion project kicked off today. This time, it's along the roughly 4 miles where it overlaps with Loop 410. What's in the works and when it's expected to be complete. That and more today on the news at 6.
Thanks, Myra. Spring means warm and often wet weather, and that's exactly what ticks like.
The pests can carry all sorts of diseases, though, and you don't want that. So 12 Under Side's Marilyn Moritz takes a look at how to keep ticks from crawling through your backyard.
Your yard should be your sanctuary or playground, not ticks. Not all ticks carry the same diseases, but dangerous ticks can be found in most states, including Texas. The trick to stopping ticks, Consumer Report says make sure your yard is less welcoming, trim tall weeds, and keep the lawn in check.
Ordinarily, Consumer Reports advises letting your grass grow a little bit on the long side, but if you have ticks in your area, it's not a bad idea to cut it down to 2 or 2.5 inches high.
If you still have leaf piles, get rid of them. Clear out the gutters, too, and pay attention to the trees.
Ticks really love the shade, so if you have trees with low-hanging branches, it's not a bad idea to clip them off at about 18 inches from the ground.
He also suggests protecting your house with mulch.
Ticks really prefer densely wooded areas over open grass, so running a border of mulch around your property creates one more physical barrier for them.
He says use wood chips, bark, or even gravel, but not the shredded mulch because that creates the damp areas that ticks like. And always do a tick check on your family if you're out in a woodsy area. And remember to use a repellent. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Yep, it's getting to be that time of year. You're going to need your sunscreen and your bug spray.
Yeah, a combination of the two. Ooh, if only we could have an invention that mixes them.
They haven't made that yet?
You're right, isn't it?
Come on.
You're right. I don't think they have.
Adam, we need to invent that.
I think we're onto something here. A tick repellent sunscreen and guaranteed to not get a mosquito bite. Should we just use the rest of the time as an infomercial for us?
The product we have not yet created.
Call Ronco. He'll get on it with us. All right, sunny and warm tomorrow. Rain chances return Thursday and Friday. Then sunny and hot as we get into this weekend. Some of the highest temperatures we've seen yet this year. Let's get right to it. And let's start with our rain and storm chances. We still have 40% on Thursday and then 30% as we get into Friday. Definitely not a slam dunk for us, but we will have more ingredients in the air and in the atmosphere coming together that at least gives us the potential for some development. You look across the nation right now, widespread areas of precip and rain and storms. We have a lot of activity out there. Central and eastern U.S. and then even over the Four Corners region. It's just here in the Lone Star State, nothing but sunshine today. And by the way, coming up at 6, I'll have the drought monitor and show you how much rain fell on parts of the drought-stricken areas that'll be taken into account when the drought monitor is updated on Thursday. Here's our next system. I want to talk about this. It's near Los Angeles. That's going to head our way. That's the upper level support. We'll have some other support as well from it, including a boundary here at the ground, a little wind shift line that'll move through. And here's one rendition of the anticipation of what we're expecting on Thursday. The bulk of it, again, likely to stay to the north of us as we get into Thursday, but we have enough ingredients around where we should see some storms pop up and even some widely separated storms Thursday. And even Thursday night into Friday, we have that potential as well. Now, even if you don't get hit by the storms, morning dampness and a few sprinkles and light showers, I think are fairly likely in this kind of situation where the humidity is going to increase and we'll have those gray, damp mornings for Thursday and Friday. Severe weather potential. We're in it right here. San Antonio, especially Highway 90 and northward in that scattered potential. So on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being a slam dunk for severe storms, we're at a 2 where we could have some of that scattered activity become strong to severe. It's that time of year with hail and wind gusts being the primary threats. 93 right now, but a dew point of 56. So when you calculate out the heat index, it's actually lower than the air temperature. 97 Carrizo Springs, 100 in Del Rio, 93 Rio Medina, and Stinson at 92. But here's the key. Good mixing this afternoon. Drier air aloft coming down, suppressing that mugginess. Not humid out there and not overly muggy. And that's going to be the case again tomorrow afternoon. Let's get to the KSAT 12-hour forecast. 7 a.m. at 66 degrees. So mid-60s in the morning, not much of a breeze. Really a beautiful start to the day. We get to noon, we're at 87, bright sunshine, then 92, the high temperature. But not too humid. We'll have lower humidity in the afternoon. Upper 90s along the Rio Grande. You get into the hill country, we'll be in the upper 80s for afternoon highs. Our only shot at showers and storms is Thursday and into Friday. This weekend, we're talking mid, maybe even upper 90s, especially as we get into Sunday. Coming up at 6, I'll show you where the smoke is in the air and where it's headed when it'll get back into Texas.
All right. Thank you, Adam.
Marianne with sports, and now we begin to speculate about what the Spurs are going to do in the draft here in a few weeks.
The speculation begins. Exactly. 2 top 10 picks. The Spurs have a lot of work to do. Draft Combine Day 1. There's 2 days, and we'll hear from one of San Antonio's potential prospects, Rob Dillingham, a point guard out of Kentucky. Plus, the Dallas Mavericks dropped a heartbreaker at home last night. Now they're headed to OKC, tied at 2 games apiece. Stay with us. Now that we know the San Antonio Spurs will pick 4th and 8th in the 2024 NBA draft, we can better envision who could help the Spurs as they aim to address some key needs through the draft. One glaring area of need is at the guard position. Someone who's a strong ball handler, makes plays, willing to get 7'4" Rookie of the Year Victor Wembanyama the ball while being able to score at a high level. One prospect who has been linked to the Spurs is Kentucky point guard Rob Dillingham. Dillingham is expected to be a high pick in this year's draft that features a low percentage of point guards. Here he is at day 1 of the Combine.
Have you talked to the Spurs yet, and what do you think about, how you would fit with them and, of course, Wemby?
I haven't talked to them yet, but, from a standpoint of just looking at it, I feel like I would be a good fit for them. I feel like I uplift my teammates. I bring confidence to the team, whether it's like in the game, before the game. I try to always boost my guys. And then playmaking, I feel like I'm a great playmaker, scorer, shooter, knockdown shooter. My defense lacks in time, but I feel like when I actually give effort and I know the game plan, then I really know what to do.
Good stuff. All right, so last night the OKC Thunder stormed back late to defeat the Dallas Mavericks 100-96, tying their second-round playoff series at 2 games apiece. Dallas held the lead for a majority of the game. In fact, it wasn't until the final 3.5 minutes that the Thunder took the lead for good. Luka Doncic had his 5th career postseason triple-double, 18 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists. And while on the surface, that's a good stat line, Dallas's offense as a whole struggled. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander took advantage, finishing with 34 points.
He made some tough shots, and he also made some easy shots. But Shai is a guy that in this league, he can score the ball. We just have to be able to make it tougher. You got to tip your hat when he contested shots that he did make. They were tough, but he did get some easy ones. And anytime a scorer like that gets easy ones, it becomes, the tougher ones become easy too. So we have to do a better job on them.
All right, Game 5 is tomorrow at 8:30. We'll be right back.
Overall, expect a lot of sunshine and warm temperatures in the 90s, with the exception of Thursday and Friday. Chance of some storms and showers at that point.
Thank you, Adam, and thank you for watching the News at 5 with us.
World News is next.